So today I thought I'd take you on the golf course with me and kind of show you what I do around the greens from a whole variety of lies, because probably just like you, at some stage in my golfing career, I struggle to strike the chips consistently. I struggle to kind of get distance control. I want to share with you how I overcome that. You know, I have a certain 2 or 3 drills that I work on, which are basically I'd work on religiously, and it's made chipping one of the best parts of my game. I'm going to show you what those are from not just good lies, but from a variety of lies around the green. Now, before I get into this video, if you're new to the channel, if you're first lessons of mine, please consider subscribing. I release videos just like this one every single week to try and help you improve your game. Plus, whatever we do around the green today, I will put into a free downloadable practice guide, which you can just simply download in the description box below. So let's get cracking. So the first thing I work on, and I'd love you to work on, is getting a consistent strike. And I've got a little system to help me do that. So what I do is I put a kind of alignment stick here, an alignment stick here, almost forming an L. We're going to focus on this alignment stick first. Now, to get a consistent strike, I want to make sure that the club lands in the same spot time and time again. I don't want it 1 minute landing here, then here, then here. That is going to lead to inconsistent chipping. So what I do is, to help me do this, is I have a wonderful drill. I take my trail foot and I put it in line with my heel like this. Now what this helps me do is it pushes a lot of my way over onto my lead side, but it helps me stay still and over the golf ball. Sometimes when I start off chipping and I go into a normal stance, it allows me too much movement here, and that's going to affect where I strike the golf ball. So this drill is brilliant. I see so many top players working on it. So get yourself set, and all I do is I put my trail foot here, get myself set over the golf ball. Once I'm there, okay, you'll notice my shaft is fairly neutral. Okay, it's not too much lean here, not too far behind, just fairly neutral. The second thing why I love this drill is it allows me here to keep my trail hip high and my trail shoulder high. Sometimes when you start to get too deep under the ground or you start fatting it, a lot of the time it's because you are driving downwards, the shoulder's going down into the ground. By having this up like this, it kind of keeps this high and allows you to create what's called a very shallow style divot. So I love that. So encourages low point to be in the same place and encourages a very shallow divot. So I start with that. Let's hit a couple of shots with this drill. So I'll spend, it's a pretty good start. So I might spend a little bit of time kind of doing that before, and I don't always start off like that good, and I might spend a bit of time just kind of getting that lower point consistent first on the practice ground. Once I've done that, and this is simple, by the way, I take this drill onto the golf course. I really do. I've seen so many top players using it. Now, the second thing I do is I've got this line here. Now, this is an important one, because what I often find is I see with so many amateur golfers, they tend to kind of drive the handle quite a long way. Now, if I do that, look at that club face. It's completely out of position. It's aiming right. Then you get this kind of yippy flick. What I love about this line here, and you can visualize it on the golf course if you don't have alignment sticks, is it helps me to get the club look swinging, the club releasing look beautifully on an arc. The handle the shaft becomes quite neutral, swings through, down the target line, and then back around. Versus, look at this. If I start to drive straight away, I know the club face is way over there. So it gives me a kind of a real good visual to get the club squaring up through impact and then working back round to the target. So simple visual works a treat. Let's have a look at this in action. Beautiful. Okay, so I've got the chipping down in terms of strike. Now, the third thing, which is hugely important, and this is a killer for most people, rhythm and a type of rhythm. So what I'm going to show is this is how I control distance control. I've got a 56-degree wedge here. But what I want you to do is this. I want you to find a rhythm first. This is not rhythm, by the way. People have short swings and then that's not rhythm. This isn't rhythm either. Long swings and then, oh, I've only got short distance. Slowing down. What I want you to do is when you start in our chipping, I want you to do something like this. I want you to find a rhythm. Any rhythm that will do. Even if this rhythm hits a shot that goes too far, we're going to go into that in a second. But just for now, let's find a rhythm. Okay, I feel pretty good with this rhythm. Let's have a see where this ball finishes. So, felt really good, and that's gone probably, what's that, 8-9 feet past the flag. So, what I do now is I've got a bass rhythm. It's a confident rhythm. It's not decelerated. It's not too jabby. What I do now is I've taken that rhythm, and now I make it a little bit shorter, but it still look rhythmical. This is how you start to learn the feel of distance control. So you should see there, I've actually just shortened my swing, but I've kept rhythm. Yeah, so all we're doing is we're shortening the length of the backswing naturally, but keeping, look, rhythm through the shot. If I want to go a little bit further, or let's even go a little bit shorter, the almost delicate ones, look at this. I've still got, look, rhythm. This one's going to finish short of the hull, but I've still got rhythm. I'm not decelerating through these shots, okay? So let's take this now, these three things here. We're gonna take this rhythm, we're gonna start to move around some real difficult shots around the green. Come and join me. So I'm often asked what differences would I make from a real dodgy lie like this in the rough. It's almost like a Friday, you can barely see it. Well, here's what I do. Let's set up exactly the same way. We're gonna get the drill here, toe just on the heel. We're going to allow that pressure to be on the lead side, but here's what we're going to do differently. We're going to let the wrists kind of just work a bit more on here. We're going to let the wrists kind of pick the club up just a little bit here so the club comes down a bit steeper. I'm actually going to let the club actually hit the ground maybe a centimetre behind the golf ball, but nothing else changes. So that's now my low point, and I want the club to square up just as we did over there with the alignment sticks through the impact area. The final bit is this, your rhythm. I don't want you going at it, hacking it in this rough. I still want rhythm through the shots. I still want this, look. I'm finding now my rhythm. So what I'll do is I'll go near the ball, I'll feel how stiff this grass is, and I'll find a rhythm, and then I'm going to stick to that rhythm. If this rhythm's wrong, that's fine, but I'm going to stick to it. I'm not going to decelerate or suddenly accelerate. I commit to the shot. So I commit to that. What you'll see is there's probably, you might even see there's almost like the grass grabbing. Sometimes when the rough is super, super thick, you might not even be able to get through the shot, but it doesn't matter. You still commit to the rhythm, and if the grass suddenly grabs your club and it stops, that's all good too. Now, look at this. Come with me now. So, bunkers. This is a shot around the green. Can you use this in bunkers? In bunkers, we can take something very similar. We can put our trail foot back like this, just as we just done a minute ago. But in bunkers, we're going to get a bit lower. We want the handle lower because we want a shallow divot through the sand. Now from here, what we're going to do, I still love this kind of trail foot back now. Why? Because it keeps my body over the ball. It stops me kind of dipping it in here and getting too much sand or catching it fat. So it keeps me in a consistent spot, which is what I want, right? Then what I want to do is, it's very, very important, I want rhythm, just like we did before. So the difference in sand is we're going to need a fairly longer swing and more rhythm because we're not striking the ball, we're striking sand. So it's more of a deflective strike. But I see too many golfers going decel or excel. So take your time, find a rhythm that's going to work. I think that's pretty good to me. I focus now on a spot just behind the ball, maybe an inch or two behind the ball, and then I'll literally commit to that spot with a fully committed rhythm. And that there, look at length of swing. That's a pretty damn good shot for a long bunker shot. If I had a short bunker shot, I would simply do what? That's right, a shorter rhythm, but still rhythmical. I've got one more for you. So let's give you one more game changer shot. It's going to save you a load more shots around the green, okay? So this time what we're going to do is I'm going to ditch the actual 56-degree wedge and move to another one, okay? And I'm going to show you how you choose, what club do you choose, all those kind of things. So let's grab now a 7-iron. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a ball here. Now what do you notice? This is a lot of green to work. When you've got a lot of green, you don't need to choose loft. In fact, look, I'm actually going to go now, look, for my 7-iron. And all I'm going to do is do the same thing, same routine. I want to strike the ground in the same spot, so I'm going to use the same drill. I also kind of want to, when I'm coming through here, I want to get the club face coming through square, so I'm going to visualize, excuse me, the club coming through square. The final thing, what rhythm do I need? Same as the bunker? No way, it's going to go too far, right? So 7-iron, short shot. Do I decel? No, I still want, look, rhythm. So I'm going to focus my eyes on the spot just on the front edge of the green. I'm now going to focus on the rhythm that's going to get me to that spot right there, okay? Look at this here. It's going to green slopes from left to right. And look at this. It rolls all the way, it's very safe, rhythm's good, come up a little bit shy than I wanted. Okay, green's a little bit slower than I thought, but it's super, super safe. Okay, so 3 things. Get a consistent strike in a consistent spot in the ground as goal number 1. Do this drill to start with, okay? Then make sure the club's coming through on a beautiful arc. Get another alignment stick to help you to do that, so the club face comes through square and you just start driving that handle. Third and finally, find a rhythm. Not long to jab or short to accelerate. Find a rhythm. And by the way, one final thing which I failed to remember. At the end of the rhythm, there's almost a stop. It's 1, 2. It's not, rhythm isn't this. And lazy. It's 1, 2. I throw a ball to you, it's 1, 2. There's an end to that rhythm, all right? Try this out. Let me know in the comments how you get on. Thanks so much for joining us. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with some of your friends who are struggling with their chipping. I know this will help. And of course, look, if you want to know more, you want to improve the chipping from more shots around the green, check this video out right here. This one particularly has been a bit of a game changer. But until next week, have a great golfing week.